This is going to be a fun one because we're going to go back to the very first days of the Wednesday Night Live with my very first guest. He now drives an IMCA modified out of Fargo, North Dakota. Mr. Lindsey Hansen joining us today. How are you doing, Lindsey?
I am doing great. One quick question. You said your schedule, you said you're going to be close to home, so should we just plan on racing somewhere else for a rain out, or how's that going to go?
Well, with the way the summers going, you never really know at this point.
That's true. That's true. No,
And
I'm doing good though. Thanks for asking.
yeah, it's been a wacky summer, and yeah, usually I have to deviate from plans at least once a weekend. So I'm hoping we don't have to deviate from plans this weekend, but I have backups just in case.
There you go.
Well, if people are tuning in, I know a couple of comments have already come in, so feel free to drop a comment if you want to say hi, if you have a question for Lindsey. We have Spencer Hupel checking in and Heidi Brevik already checking in, so thank you too for popping on into the interview. So, Lindsey, I've known you for quite a while now, and you've raised several divisions, including Midwest Mods, Late Models, and now an IMCA Modified this year. The first question I have for you, because I feel like I've seen this last couple of years, your number 32T. What's the significance of the T in the number 32?
So, I mean, really, there wasn't anything too crazy. So, like, my TikTok was 32, so TURDY, just like a fun little acronym. I think Lane Schwer actually told me to make my TikTok name that. So that's all it was because in the late model, it seemed like anywhere I went with that thing, there was like three or four 32s, with the Tollicksons and then that Max Nelson, I believe he raced one at the time. And so I just wanted to switch it up. That way I knew who I was on the track, and then it kind of just stuck. And then now my son's name's Theo, and it just kind of all took place. And then I didn't do the number with the T because my son's name, we didn't even know, didn't even know that was going to happen at the time. And now it's just kind of like came full circle. So I'm just going to leave it.
Well, that's what I was thinking too. I'm just like, wait a second, your son's name is Theo. I'm like, I don't think you knew Theo was coming, like back when you
Yeah.
first had the number. So yeah, I was curious on that.
Yeah. No, there was one night in Fergus that there was four 32s there, and it was a disaster. They said, and like me and Tollickson were beside each other or in the area of each other, and they said 32 this way, 32 that way, and we were just kind of going everywhere. So I fixed the problem, I guess.
There you go. Yeah, it's nice to have a little bit of distinguishing of the number, especially
Yeah.
when you wouldn't think 32 is a super common number, but kind of
Yeah.
cards just roll out.
Yep. There you go.
Well, now since they both late models, now you're behind the wheel of an IMCA modified. Talk to us about that kind of transition and what led to the decision to go into the IMCA modified class.
So I live in Fargo for those that don't know. The late model stuff, super fun. Had a lot of fun, learned a lot, but I don't know. The traveling, going, having to go, 2 or 3 hours away most nights, seemed like we could go to Fergus most Friday nights, but we wanted to race Saturday or Sunday. It was a little bit of a journey. So uh, driving by Red River Valley Speedway every weekend on your way to the races, kind of, you see cars driving there, and you're like, God, I could be there right now instead of driving all over. But we kind of went that route because I didn't plan on racing that much this year, and I just kind of wanted something to play around with. And uh, most of it came from just wanting to be 5 minutes from home and being able to race on a Friday, But like I said, I didn't plan on racing much, but now here we are. We're racing every weekend. The typical I'm buying a boat story. You know how that goes. So
Yeah, so you're racing weekly at Red River Valley Speedway and also Jamestown Speedway, and Jamestown's pretty significant because that's your original home track or being originally from the Jamestown area.
yeah, yeah, and that had a lot of sway with it too. My cousin Chad, he's one of my main sponsors. He kind of got me into the racing when I was at a young age, and we just kind of always done it together. And he's always supported me. And when I had the opportunity to do this IMCA mod deal, that was a big thing on the radar too. Is Jamestown because I could get back to the family aspect of it. Especially with my son now, and when we go to the races, they're all there because Levi Remick, Chad Spoyd, now races a slingshot. So it's a big family affair, and they love it. I think they might show up just for Theo, to be honest, but who knows? I don't know. It's a good time. I like hanging out with everybody at Jamestown too, and seeing some old friends that I haven't been able to see in a long time, and feels like home, I guess.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, and that kind of comes full circle, especially with the way you kind of transition to the IMCA modified. I mean, right out of the gate, I remember talking to you at Test and Tune before the year even started. You're like feeling pretty comfortable in the IMCA modified. So, assume you were pretty looking forward to the year right out of the gate.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't as big a learning curve going from the late model to the modified as it was going from the mod to the late model. So kind of getting back into the mod was kind of just like riding a bike, I guess. It took maybe 2 laps to figure out how to drive it again, and the car out of the gate was really, really, really good. So I got to thank Dalton Magers for that one. He had that thing set on kill, I guess you could say, right away. So definitely probably the most comfortable I felt in a race car.
I'm glad you mentioned Dalton because so I nerd out before the year starts because like you see all the pictures of cars at Test and Tunes and they're like half wrapped and all that, and I remember seeing Test and Tune photos from Fiesta City in particular, and I saw your late model down there. I'm like, what the heck is Lindsey's late model doing down in Fiesta City? Didn't figure this out until actually this last Friday when I saw your late model out on the track and it was Dalton driving. I'm like, okay, this makes sense now.
Yeah, he went down there for test and tune, and I got he must have been doing pretty good because I got a couple of Facebook messages later on that night saying you looked pretty good out there. Thanks for coming. And I was like, well, that wasn't even me. So at least he can make it look good.
Yeah, getting used to the late model there as well. Hey,
Yep.
Asher Williams is checking on in, as well as Jerry Lamb and Al Schmidt. Thank you guys for tuning in. Spencer's been ready for the comedy hour. I think he's at the Brown County Fair right now. So waiting
Okay.
for some of
Yeah.
your buddies to check in and see what kind of questions they come up with.
Oh, I'm sure they're in there lurking somewhere.
Well, while we got a second, kind of talk about how like the first few races for your IMCA Modified went this year. Like you said, out of the gate felt pretty dang good.
Yep. I think yeah, we started in Fargo. First heat race, we won it, and we were like, well, that didn't suck. So in the feature, I think we started like seventh or something because they still did like the redraw for like the first night for IMCA points, and drove up the fourth. We're really happy with it. We just kept getting better. It was more of a night just to get comfortable with it and figure out how these things drive on that tire and kind of that type of racetrack. So it was really good the first night. Second night in Jamestown, or maybe we missed a weekend or whatever, however it rained out or something. But car was good. Jamestown, I don't think I finished a race until the night I won. So the first 5 nights there weren't very good. But Fargo, we've been pretty decent. I've never really been a big fan of Fargo racetrack up until this year, just because we only got to race it, one to 2 times a year, and it just was always a struggle fest out there, and could never get a hold of it. But I guess every weekend we're getting a little better out there, so it's been a good start of the year, I guess.
Well, and some like not only in the late models, but in modifieds, it's pretty stiff competition. So like in Fargo, you have to deal with Skalicki, Shipley, Tyler Hall, if he's not cheating his car up and all that.
Oh,
And then you
Tyler's
got
a big
Jamestown.
No, but yeah, the competition in Fargo is really stiff. Like Stalicki and Shipley, they're somewhere lurking. If you have one wrong move, good chance one of them are coming by you. And now with the way the point inverts are with IMC mods is, I think they do it on your final or your last 3 nights finishes or whatever. Well, Stalicki and Shipley, they either win or get second, so you know where they're starting. They're starting 11th and 12th. Or whatever, however it works out with how many cars show up. But they're starting towards the back of the point invert, and I'm always starting kind of a row right in front of them. So it's like you want to try to get out and run away, but then you get one mess up, and you're like, well, there they go. See you guys next week. But they're pretty tough. And in Jamestown's really tough too. Obviously, you got Carell, who just kind of peaks around the bottom and wins everything that he's been in this year. And then you got John Nord. He races super hard. I like racing with John. He actually kind of screwed me up one weekend. I was leading heat race, and Yellow came out with one to go, and was in my zone, and John comes up next to me and just starts waving or whatever. And next restart, we barrel it in there side by side. I get tight, he goes off and wins it. But I thought that was pretty funny. Uh, Gardner's been pretty quick in Jamestown too. There's a lot of tough competition, and then like last weekend, Keller was there and Thule were there, and it's it's not easy in any class that you race in. Anywhere from the slingshots up to the late models. There's good local competition that can go anywhere in the country and win anywhere up here. So
That is true, yeah. Especially this last Saturday, boy, there was like a stacked field in every dang class over there, like a mini stampede.
yeah, I think about noon I seen that Southwest Speedway rained out, and I called my buddy Sean Weiss. I said it's gonna be a late night, I think, and sure enough, would they have 185 cars in Jamestown? That was
Yep.
crazy. Good for Jamestown though. They put on a good show, and we're actually out of there fairly early for the car count they had.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a very well-run show on Saturday night. We got a couple people checking in. We got Eric Gaddich, all the way from Wisconsin, checking in, calling you the Mud Stud.
Oh, the Mud Stud. Yeah, Eric's good. Eric's a good friend there. He actually came up and raced with us during that Buffalo or the Bison battle or whatever. So it was nice to see him. Kind of miss being around him.
Yeah, I remember seeing Eric more on the Rebel Tour when it first kind of started
Yep.
up.
Yep. Yeah, Eric used to call me all the time. What happened to
Nice.
that?
Eric Thompson also checking in, asking, what is your favorite track and who is your favorite driver?
Okay. Like favorite track I've ever raced at or favorite track I want to race at?
Do both.
Do both? Okay. My favorite track that I've raced at, probably Humboldt, Kansas. You were there for that one. That place is bad to the bone. Another shout out for a local one though is probably I-94 in Fergus Falls. That's my favorite local one. But Humboldt tops the list, mostly probably for the experience that we had and whatever. But I'd say the Falls, Fairbury. That'd be my go-to, I guess. That one would be fun. Casino Speedway kind of has that same feel, where you're just up on the wall and just kind of, I wouldn't say beating and banging, but the racing is close and it's fast and whatever. And I like that kind of racing. That's why some of these big tracks, it kind of bores me a little bit, but Falls would definitely be on my list. Or Macon. That's another really small one.
Mm. Yeah, I haven't watched too many races at Macon, but definitely seen Falls races, and yeah, those get nuts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that would be crazy.
Mike Van Dyke, course, checking in from Watertown. Hey, Mike, good to see you as well. Ryan Ost checking in. Got a
Yeah,
question for you. How many times have you wiped out on a pit bike or scooter?
Scooter were 0. Pit bikes were 1. We were unfortunately in Arizona this last winter. I went to look up at the racetrack because they were doing some track prep and all that, and the water truck had just come by, like the pit entry where they come on the track. They got it walled off, whatever. So I went up there and I was talking to a buddy up there, and didn't even think that the water truck just came by, and I go flying back down to tell Coleman, kind of what the track looks like, and drove right where the water truck was, and yeah, I ripped a huge hole in my pants. Shoe was destroyed. The best part is they got it right on camera too for the live TV. So yeah, and then Derek Hansen, he was up in the stands, and he comes down to me in the pits, and he calls me skid plate now because I bounced off the ground and rolled. But yeah, it was a good time.
Nice. Yeah, if you're gonna fall or have a mishap, make sure it's on camera. That's like the
Yeah.
number one thing.
Well, at least I had proof, so I just, I don't know. I was head to toe in mud, and I looked like a dummy.
Don't worry, I think all of us have had one of those moments at some point at the racetrack.
Yeah,
Okay,
gotta
we
be known for
got
something.
Tony Smith checking in. He is asking, who is your favorite streetcar driver with T in the first name and S in the second?
You got me there. Probably Tony Smith. I was trying to think of another one, but I couldn't think of one.
I was trying to think of another one too. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I
No,
can't think of
Tony.
one right off the spot.
Yeah, Tony looks pretty good in that new car. Definitely seems a lot more comfortable in that than the recent ones he's had. So
Yeah, he's looked really, really good the last couple weeks.
looking
Speaking of,
forward to him potentially being up in Victory Lane. That'd be cool. I think the
mhm.
whole red section of Jamestown Speedway would probably give him a beer, to be honest.
Well, I was gonna say, so compared to your entourage in Victory Lane, how would Tony Smith's kind of rival that if he got up into Victory Lane there?
I think it would probably rival it, but I know it would beat the pit interaction because he would have a party. He would probably burn that place down if he won in Jamestown at the street stock. There'd be jack handles flying everywhere. He'd have tires laying on the racetrack. You wouldn't believe, you wouldn't notice the racetrack on Sunday morning.
Yeah. So make sure street stocks are last on the program, is what you're saying.
If Tony wins, lock your vehicles. Yep.
Gotcha. Smart. Speaking of street stock drivers, another one checking in, Andy Rosso, good friends with Andy.
Yeah, Andy.
He's asking, have you ever had the same race car for 6 months?
I should ask him if he's ever had it. Never mind. Uh, yeah, I have. Yep, I have. Sorry, I forgot we were on Facebook there for a minute.
This is a family show, remember?
I had it dialed up, but I'll leave it alone. Yeah, I have, Andy. I appreciate your concern, but I have.
I was gonna say, I mean, that late model you had at least for 2 years?
2 years. Yep.
So, got that going. Nathan Kelly checking in. He's asking if you need a new tire guy. He's ready when he's not racing.
Nathan's was a lot of help in the late model stuff on the tires, and him and my buddy Jaron, my crew chief, if you want to call him that. He doesn't like that title because he doesn't want to be responsible for whatever. But him and Jaron on the late model went to work on that thing. Man, they did the tires and their sub nights. I was just mad and didn't want to do nothing to the car and just go get our start money. And they were under it. They were doing the tires. They were changing gears. They were washing it on the weeks, and they were a lot of help. But I kind of like my tire guy right now, Nathan. Sorry. Shout out to Nathan though. He just got his first win.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
Yep. He would have got it the week before, but he stepped on his thing and did that whole deal with two to go. But I had to give him a tough time about that.
Well, at least now he's got that first win out of the way, so the rest of them should come pretty easy.
Oh, 100%.
Mike's asking, which class do you like better out of the three that you've raced? You've actually raced way more than three, I think, right?
Yeah, I've probably raced about everything, to be honest. uh, Fun wise, when the times were good, I definitely liked the late model, but that was a frustrating class because if you're off a little bit, the other 20 cars aren't, and you know which way you're going. In one corner, you kind of would get the idea which way you're going to go, but late model was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of clean racing. That's what I liked about it, is you could really get in there and do what you got to do to it and not have an issue with getting your fenders ripped off or whatever, but I would say the IMSA mod, that's been a lot of fun because you got to be pretty technical with those things. Like, you can be off, but you can still drive them, but they have no traction on that tire when it's dry, and you got to really ease it, and I definitely like the IMSA mod. I feel pretty comfortable in it, I guess.
Well, yeah, I remember interviewing Mike Gresseth when he was talking about late models. It's like when you're off, you're like just like a little bit you're off. So it's like that. I can understand how that can be very frustrating when it's like lap one and it's just like, oh boy, this is gonna be not a fun feature.
Yep, yeah. There's been many nights in Fergus, we'd go out on our heat race and we'd change literally one click on a shock or something stupid and go out there and you can't even turn the car. It's just, I don't know. My knowledge on that late model stuff wasn't there, but they were a lot of fun to drive.
When you were kind of part of that class that are part of the late models, it's like the last 2 or 3 years, just a whole new crop of late model drivers coming into that class. And so it was kind of cool to see, like, whoops, I almost lost my mic. Kind of cool to see all you guys kind of jump in the class together and you kind of see how you guys kind of stack up against one another and kind of bounce ideas too.
Yeah, I think when I got in the late model, the same year Lane got in the late model from the B mod, and there was probably, 25 cars a night, full field, whatever. But now, like this last year, or even the year, yeah, last year, I guess, there was 35 to 40 of them every night, and you knew there was a B main, and it made you a lot better though because you had to drive a lot harder to try to make the show because you get in a B main, you never know who could be in there. Strand or TPO could be in there right with you, and I could admit that I wasn't keeping up with them. You know what I mean? So it and it kind of made the draw important too. When you hit that enter button, you kind of know which way your night's gonna go before it even starts. So
Yeah, that's true. It's unfortunate sometimes it's like, oh boy, based on the draw, this is going to be a long night.
yep, yep.
Yeah, Ryanos is saying, well, he mentioned that he raced 5 race classes, but he's never going to forget the glory days of the Bombers.
Oh, honestly, I would probably still be in a bomber if they didn't suck to work on. I hated working on those things. They were like, ugh, I don't know. You'd blow a tranny and it'd take you 6 hours to replace it, and be dirt head to toe. But the bombers were a good time. I really enjoyed it, and I actually met Ryan because I came in after a feature one night, and I was really hot, and I was the only person with I was by myself or whatever, and I was trying to get it cooled down, and then this little kid with freaking blonde hair, come running up, and he looked like he was about 6 years old, and he's like, "Do you need water?" And I was like, "Yeah, hell yeah, I do," and he ripped the hood off and started dumping water all over the place, and I was like, "All right, cool," and then we just been friends ever since. And then I think that, well, maybe 2 years after that or whatever, his parents surprised him with a bomber car, and then he started racing bombers. And I think I raced one or 2 years with Ryan in the bomber class. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Ryan's a good guy. I always love talking with Ryan at the racetrack, and very helpful guy, too.
Oh yeah, yep. Him and his dad and Cammy, I guess. Cammy's really cool too, especially when she's hooking you up on the tow truck and then dragging you back in glory.
Very, very great family in racing.
Yep, yep.
Finally, Corey Berquist checked in. He's like, "Am I late?" You're not Mason level late, but you made it here.
Oh gosh, here they come.
Yeah. Oh, there's the first comment.
I see.
I don't know if I'm going to repeat that comment, but good to see you, Corey. It was good to see you this last weekend. And Corey got back behind the wheel of a race car and actually did pretty well, so that was awesome to
That's
see as
what I
well.
heard. I seen a Facebook post on it, and I was like, "What the heck? You told me never told me you were racing again." He just told me that he was racing Brotherton's. I think is who he was racing, but that's pretty cool. I'm surprised he didn't get lapped. Must have only had five
Well,
cars there.
Corey, if it's any consolation, when I saw the fantasy matchups, I believe I picked you in the fantasy matchup. So I had confidence in you if no one else did.
Someone believes in you, Corey. Cheers.
Exactly. Oh, speaking of Adam, he just checked on in. Let's see here.
He just got his first win too, right?
First time racing Lindsey in Aberdeen. We were looking at the lineup. I thought we was racing a girl and didn't realize he was a guy until after I dumped him in the feature.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he found out after that. No, I like Adam. He's good stuff. Some people give him a hard time for racing rough and whatever, and I like him. We've always raced each other clean, and it's always good competition. I think that night I won in Watertown, he maybe let me win it. So every time I watch the video, it kind of looks like he was lifting pretty hard, but I don't know. Either way, I got the trophy on the wall back here, so.
There you go. That first one is always the toughest one to get. And so, like, when you got the win at Jamestown a few weeks back in the IMCA Modified, it's like, well, dang, that didn't take you long to get that first trophy.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised. So, like, I tell the story. I've told it 3 times now or whatever, but the night previous in Fargo, I got third, but it was on a green-white checkered, and I passed 4 cars on the last lap. And Stolicki and Shimpley, they beat us by like 3.5 seconds in like the 2 laps or whatever. And I was like, that's not acceptable to me, like they drive away from me like that. You got some issues. And so that all day Saturday, I sat in the shop and I had like the whole left rear tore out of it, the bars and everything, and just trying to figure out what I was doing wrong. And I just kind of found out a setup in my head, I guess, and just tried it and went out in the heat race. And we won that heat race, and I was like, "Oh, this thing's pretty good." Made another little adjustment, and I mean, it probably helped. We started front row on a track like that. It was kind of top dominant in the traction. The bottom was there, but it was just so fast up top, and we led every lap, and I don't know, it was a lot of fun. Definitely had some, I wouldn't say pressure with the cautions, but once there was one caution where Nord and Carell were in second and third, and I think Nord was in second, and we had the caution, and I kind of drove up the track and then swerved down so I could like kind of see what lane he picked, and he picked the inside, and we kind of just came in the corner, and I went to block it because I thought for sure Nord was going to throw a slider on me, but just kind of went to block it, and I never did see him, and that's when I was like, well, we might have something here, and held on to it. But I guess Corral was coming in the last closing laps, but
Yeah. Yeah.
that'd have been a fun race.
Well, Johnny C's been on almost unstoppable lately.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like the last 2 to 3 laps in Jamestown, like I didn't like let off, too much, but it was slow enough so I didn't drive off the top like a dummy. So it was more of like a protect me type deal. So if I'd have seen him, it would have been a fun race, but you never want to let somebody get there. But thankfully there was a lap car that spun out in front of us, and they just called the race.
You take him however you can get him.
Exactly.
We also have Jason Marco from Watertown checking in.
Okay, Jason.
Try-
Hey, Jason.
Trying to confirm with Adam if he's saying, if, how do I put this? Adam, are you saying she's a he? That's the question.
Well, yeah, I don't know if I should say that, but I was, just it's 2025. You can be whatever you want.
This is true in more, yeah, in more ways than one. I don't even want to know how many times that you've probably been confused as a girl, like over like a
Oh,
broadcast at races.
all the time. Literally, if you go to DRC in the Watertown the night I won, I got out of my car and everyone cheered, and like you could literally hear this little girl say that that's not a girl. I swear on my life, you can go to that video and watch it. But
Well, being in Watertown, and there's a great female crowd presence because, of course, you have Maria Brixick in the street stock, so she's very popular. So it's like, oh, hey, Lindsay
yeah,
wins their first feature race, and you get out of the car, and it's like, oh boy.
yeah. I've grown up like it though, so it doesn't bother me. It's more funny now, I guess. But that's why I'm always looking for a cool nickname, but no one's came up with one yet. Skid plate is about all I've got in the last couple of years. So
Yeah, we still got to come up with a good one for you. Chad Remick is asking, are we going to see you in the high heels race this Saturday?
no chance. I tore my ACL last October, and I'm not doing that again. I'll sign Jaron up again though. Last year I put my crew chief up for the high heels race, and he didn't know it till they brought him a pair of heels, and we taped him on his ankles.
I do remember that. I remember seeing Jaron in that race. He did okay.
Yeah, they need to put different tiers though, because they had like a bunch of them young legend drivers racing people like overweight middle-aged adults, and we didn't fare too well.
Yeah, you could definitely tell in the last couple races where like 7 out of the last 8 are all legend drivers. It's like,
Yeah, they were all to the flag stand before Jaron even spun his tires on the green flag there. So
that is true, yes. Oh, Ryan O's with a fun fact.
oh
Lindsay's first win actually came from a pitman race in a streeter in Lisbon. That's when he decided he was going to go pro.
yeah, actually, did I win that one? I might have won. I did because it was in Cameos let me drive her streetcar. I don't even know what year it was. I think that was after the Bombers or whatever. She let me drive her streetcar, and that thing was way more power than I ever driven, and it just kind of turned around the corner and away we went. But that is a good fun fact. I kind of forgot all about that. So I actually owe Cammy a lot there.
Well, there you go. It only starts with what some of those mechanics races to kind of get people that have like the itch a little bit or kind of around racing to be like, maybe I could actually get in a race car.
Fun fact: Ryan Ost actually totaled that car the next year when he had a light pole in Lisbon.
No, I love those fun facts. Robert Hosking is checking in, saying watching him get in and out of the combine last year on crutches was kind of funny. Where's the video?
Yeah, that was something else. It was so I tore it in October. We're in the middle of harvest, and I don't even think I took a day off. The next day, I was in the combine with my leg propped up on the cooler, and it was actually a pretty chill harvest though, because if I needed something, they would just come fix it, and I just sat there. So it wasn't bad, but definitely was uncomfortable getting out of the combine. I guess getting in wasn't so bad. I could just kind of muscle my way up there, but you don't realize how much you need two legs until you don't have both of them.
Very true. You might want to get in touch with Nate Ranke because I feel like he's going to be in that same situation here in the next month or
Uh-oh.
so.
What did you do?
I think he sent it too hard over 4th of July weekend, so
Sounds like a Ranky story. Is that why he hasn't been racing? Obviously.
yes.
Okay. All right. I'll have to give him some grief.
Yeah, I don't know the full details, but yeah, he's out of commission for a little bit.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that sounds like Nate.
Ryan Owens, no comment on the whole light pole thing.
Fun, another fun fact: Ryan's took the power out in Lisbon, and his dad's took the power out in Jamestown. That is a father-son duo you want to stay away from if you need power.
Hey, we're all known for something. I'm known for the weather guy, and now I guess the O's are known for making the lights go out. So
It's funny. I just like giving him crap about it.
Eric Gadich saying, well, this is not Tyler Bruning. He had first thought it was Tyler Bruning that I was interviewing.
Oh yeah, fear the beard.
We tried to get Tyler Bruning on the show. He declined, so we settled for Lindsey.
Yeah, the next best, right?
Oh gosh. Well, while we got a second in here in the from the comments, I want to give you an opportunity to thank your sponsors or any other crew members that help you out.
Gosh, put me on the spot. I actually, in my victory lane speech, I forgot like half of them because I went to the one side of the car and then totally forgot we had a whole other side of the car that we had to do. But my sponsors are Gazelle Feedlot, Jaron Webstead. Uh, he is a lot of help on just like setup wise and just kind of bouncing ideas off each other. Chad Remick Farms, Ben Gemmer, Pizza Ranch out of Lisbon, RK2 Companies, Rusty Coleman, Shocker Hitch, Scott Bentz, Cody Meyer Enterprise. He's a lot of help. That's kind of where we work on our car and store it in the summertime. And he actually came with us last weekend and helped out, so that was cool. High Side Enterprise, LLC, Andrew Thompson with Titan Machinery. He was actually at the racetrack this last week too. It's first race all year. Gosh, who am I forgetting? I'm probably forgetting somebody, but they're a lot of help. And then obviously Jaron Wharton, crew chief, tire guy, whatever he wants to be called. Yeah, that's probably about it. I'm definitely forgetting somebody, but just know you're appreciated.
Well, perfectly timed on.
Thomas Farms. There we go. I knew I was forgetting somebody. Kale Thomas Farms.
Perfect timing on naming off your crew guy. I bet he was waiting for you to say his name because Jaron just checked in. He's asking, can Lindsey hit the truffle shuffle?
Oh, not right now. I will later, but not right now.
Looks like Nathan also wants to see this at some point too.
Oh God, no, I'll pass. But hey, Mason, I actually have a list here. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions because nobody really gets to interview Mason and to get to know Mason. You cool with that?
Alrighty.
All right, this is gonna be a couple rapid fire ones. So, how many races have you been to this year?
Oh, it's mid 50s, I think, right now. Number 40 was at Huset's in July.
Okay, okay. You know how many miles you put on your car?
Uh, this year I don't know. I did keep track the last 2.5 weeks, and it's about 6,000 miles.
In 2 weeks?
Well, because I went, well, let me see,
Jeez.
probably the last month and a half, because I went to Wisconsin and back twice.
Oh, okay, yeah. All right. How many speeding tickets you got this year?
How many, what?
Speeding tickets. Oh, that's a good year for Mason then. What's your favorite track food?
Chicken shack at Bemidji.
Okay, I've heard a lot about that actually. What's your favorite racetrack?
It would be I-94. Jamestown's a close second right now.
Okay, Jamestown. Okay. On average, how many hours of sleep you get on a race weekend?
Mm,
A lot.
probably, okay, what do you consider the weekend? Is it Thursday night through Sunday night?
Friday through Sunday.
I'd say probably 10 to 11.
No. Okay.
Usually Saturday's like my day to sleep in, wherever I'm at.
Gotcha. And then you're just late for Sundays.
Well, Sunday usually I have church, so if I get back at
Oh
like
yeah.
2 a.m. and have to get up
Yeah.
at 7:30,
You ever driven a race car?
twice. I've driven a IMCA hobby stock and an IMCA stock car.
Oh really? I knew the hobby stock. I didn't know the stock car.
Yep, I raced Brody's at a mechanics race up in Minot.
Oh, cool, cool. Where did your love of racing come from?
I grew up going to the racetrack in Minot, so we went every Sunday pretty much from the time I was 6 months old. So, kind of,
Okay.
kind of just from day one.
Okay. One last question. Is the GoPro curse real? And
No,
how many cars have lost because of
that's like
it?
the odds are you're probably not going to win the race as it is at the competition. But I think I've had at least 6 or 7 wins this year.
Okay, so you're making up for it because there was a stretch there. It's like every time you put a GoPro on my car, we just got destroyed by something.
Well, I'll put it this way. So I had 3 GoPros on in Watertown on Sunday. One of them won the race. 2 of them DNF'd.
Well, it averages out then.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which, by the way, those GoPro videos are gonna one's gonna get uploaded tonight, and the other 2 are gonna get uploaded tomorrow. For those wondering.
There you go.
Nice questions. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I wrote them up this afternoon. Just had to get to know you a little bit since no one gets to interview you. You know.
Gotcha. Yeah. Nah, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Looks like we got a couple more comments coming in. Ari is asking, who is one person you would not want to race against? I don't know if putting you on the spot.
Well, I'm going to stay out of the local stage, and I'll just go national. But oh gosh, I'd say Kyle Bronson. His neck bothers me. I don't know what it is about his neck, but it bothers me.
He's kind of a
But
scary
yeah,
looking dude.
yeah, he'd probably kick my ass. But Kyle Bronson, that's who I'm going with.
Wait, who is he? The guy that you had to run in at the Gateway?
No, that was Lightning McQueen. I couldn't even tell you that guy's name.
The funniest image from that week was just you see Lindsey in the tow truck just sitting on the edge of it and just clapping after the guy that wrecked him got wrecked with the falling caution.
Yeah, he almost wrecked me like 3 other times before that, and then wrecked me, took me out of the race. It was the last race of the weekend down there, and I was pretty mad, whatever. And then he come around next lap and wrecked himself right in front of me, so I gave him the good old salute and clapped as he drove away. So
I say, I think you were pretty cordial to him there.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Let's see. Ryan Ost. I've fallen victim. I was sitting second till a restart, and Wibstead got by me and ended up third. Well, I wonder which race he's referring to.
Not sure, but that sounds like a common Jaron Webstead story. Seems like he wins often.
That he
But
does. He's
Ryan, got a couple good wins, and he's fast. So he can talk down on himself all he wants, but deep down inside, he knows he's fast.
Well, and I was trying to encourage Ryan in Aberdeen because, of course, this time last year is about the time he got hot. He won the Big Buck Nationals. He won another race in Aberdeen, and it's like your car is getting better, and you're getting better when the big money's on the line. So I think that's good.
Yeah, and I just watched him, 2 weeks ago, drive away from all those open motors with his little 602. So you're fast, Ryan.
Yeah,
There's a big race this weekend for the B mods. This thing, you could be $2,000 richer.
yeah.
Just
So
do the
keep
complete opposite of what you did last weekend.
right. Oh, the GoPro footage from last year. Ah, I see what he's saying.
Yeah. See, it's real. Made good footage for Mason, though.
Any footage is good footage. That's my motto.
Yep.
My other motto is hopefully I don't bring a tornado to your track.
Yeah. You and Kayla.
I mean, she wasn't there yet.
Yet, yeah.
That is something I only need to experience once, and that's it.
That's pretty cool, though.
It was cool for about 15, 20 seconds, and then it's like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, for sure.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Lindsey, for taking some time out of your schedule. Always great to talk with you, and best of luck finishing out the season. Actually, what is your schedule like once you get into the year-end specials?
So we just got, 2 weekends now left in Jamestown and 2 weekends in Fargo. And I think the only other race that we plan on is the Corn Cob and the Stampede.
Okay.
So we were going to try to get down to the Super Nats this year, but it's just not going to work out this year. So we'll try to put that on our radar for next year. And maybe we'll start a little early in the season next year. And then when they got like that Beatrice race and all that deal. But there ain't much racing left for us. I think we only got 6 nights at most. So.
Yeah, it's kind of been a bummer that Mother Nature's kind of wrecked a lot of those races, especially in Fargo. Fargo's gotten a lot of cancellations, too.
Yeah, it seems like every other weekend we get rained out. So we don't got many shows, but we try to make the best of them, and hopefully we can get another one before the year's over. Stampede would be cool, but you know how that goes. So.
Yeah, that's some stiff competition, and it's kind of like just getting into like the dash itself is like kind of the big goal, and from there you never know.
Someone's got to tie Johnny to the fence post, otherwise I think everyone's going to be SOL there. So.
Yeah, the wily old veteran he's got things figured out.
Yeah, he's been lights out this year. Kudos to him.
Alrighty, well, might see you this weekend. See how things shake out, and best of luck finishing out the season, and hope you get another win on the year. Tell Theo I say hi as well.
Perfect. I just want to point out that the radar looks good for the weekend. So if something does happen, this guy's fault. Just so we know. Just so we're clear. But I appreciate it. And then, I'll tell Theo hi, and we'll see you this weekend.
Alrighty. Best of luck, Lindsey, on the season. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next Wednesday Night Live.
See ya.